Hey,
Ew. Ew.
welcome in. Welcome in
Woo.
on a Wednesday.
Woo.
Um, Fortunately, it's not really a light Wednesday because of the NBA and NHL ongoing playoff situations. Very entertaining right now.
Mm.
Baseball still ramping up. Um, Soccer, we'll get to that, but it's terribly embarrassing. But what we
Look, hey,
expect.
look. We still got the Euros too. Look, we got that going. That'll be good.
I know. Actually, Tyler, shout out, educated me on how different Fantasy Euro is going to be tomorrow, or well, on Friday. But
Friday.
I got to reset my whole game plan. But Tyler, how are you
Mm.
doing today on this Wednesday?
Man, doing good. Doing good. Yeah, little bit of sports news. So that's nice instead of us having to scrounge for things on a Wednesday. But all in all, doing good. Watched the first episode of the new Loki show on Disney Plus. Very entertaining. Very Owen Wilson being Owen Wilson, pretty much is what he does. But no, all in all, doing good, man. How you doing today, Ron?
New episodes weekly, by the way, not a sponsor. But if you want to be a
That's
sponsor,
what they can be.
hit
Disney.
us up. Hit us up.
I will absolutely be a corporate shill. Hit us
Uh,
up.
Doing well. The first wave of the next week's DraftKings are coming in, so a little
Mm.
taste of that today. We have what they call a split copy because there is a U.S. Open promotion going to, which
That's right.
I, I don't know if it's trolling or not, and maybe we would, I might want to start the show with that. But the promotion is pretty much everything with DraftKings is like sign up if you're a first time user, bet $1, you get 100. If you pick one NBA team that's still in, you get $100 or
Right.
site credits. And the PGA one is if Bryson gets any birdie, all right, I feel like he's gonna get a birdie, but it just feeds in.
Who knows? Who
Maybe he
knows?
won't. Maybe he won't. I don't know.
He might not.
Lord knows. But that is where they're going, and just starting on that, actually, um, Kepka and you know Bryson did speak out on this today. They're both playing at different tournaments, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of pointing back to what Tyler and I were always kind of thinking, is this a work? Like, do they
It's a
know?
work, bro.
I
It's
feel
a
like it
work, bro.
is, but yeah, Bryson came out today and pretty much just actually you could see his comments here where he was like, well, I'm not going to say that's what it is, but it's obvious that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for the game. I really do. I mean, the fact that golf's on pretty much every news outlet for, I don't know, about 2 weeks, pretty consistently, I think that's a good thing. It's growing the game. You know, the younger generation. I get the traditionalists who, don't agree with it. I understand that. But I think to grow the game, you got to reach out to the younger generation, and I think that's what I don't want to say that's what this is, but it's reaching out to a whole bunch of people. It's getting golf in front of people, and I mean I think it's good for the game.
Again, I'm not look. He had to pull himself back from saying this is pretty much look. It's probably not a fake beef, but I mean, still, it was like, look, we're growing the game here. Like everyone's talking about it, social media, it's on the news all the time, and he had to even well, that all right, that's not what it is, but also it's good for the game. And Bryson pretty much came out and said the same thing. He was really hammering the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit. But hey, I'm not here to talk about that. I just want to talk about the great people here in Detroit that are doing all these things. But I don't disagree either way. It's entertaining. It makes golf newsworthy. We don't have Tiger anymore right now at the moment.
No.
Hope he rest up, come back at some point. But I don't know. Tyler, do you think both of these guys are in on this to a certain extent? Is what my question to you would be.
To a certain extent, yes. Like, I don't think this is going to be like full on, like, Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler, where it's like, in the 70s, everybody thought they like really hated each other, and then it turns out they were best friends the whole time. I don't think it's going to be that. I do think that like they, to an extent, don't get along, but they probably do play up like how much they actually don't get along. Like, I doubt you'll ever see them out for beers, but they're probably like cordial enough. Just be like, hey, look, we can get some ratings on this if we just talk shit about each other.
And then in the like extended cut, if you go and look that up, of Brooks's interview, he was like, "Yeah, if we're on the Ryder Cup, like odds are we're not going to be on the same team. So, like, he's going to do his thing. I'm going to do mine. Like, it doesn't really affect me. Like, it's not a personal like attack on me, kind of thing. So it was a little bit of a walk back, but also I do love the back and forth, all the social media. Starting. I mean, we're talking like 2 years ago with Bryson with the I got abs. I don't. Brooks doesn't have abs, but I mean, Bryson probably does not have abs now because he's tacked on so much mass. I mean, come on,
Lummox.
It's a fact. It's just gonna happen.
He's cultivated mass,
cultivating mass, and just taking lines that are impossible. We saw.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, who was it? Spieth that was like, I couldn't say anything to you, but I was trying to give you a look, like, please go for it, because we all wanted to see it over the weekend. So it's, me and Tyler have said, I don't think they're going to be best of friends or anything like that. Certainly not hanging out, getting a beer together, but at the same time, they know kind of the back and forth is driving up people following both of them. So,
Jaime, to your point, if this is a Memphis Eagle, how great will that be? Like, Brooks is up there ready to tee off, and then Bryson shows up and like throws the fireball in his face.
Oh God!
But yeah, I don't know. Look, it is only good for the sport. I think. I mean, it draws up interest in the game that's otherwise pretty boring personality wise, I should say. If you enjoy golf, you're going to watch golf no matter what. These guys are great at what they do, but personality wise, yeah, it's nice to see a beef out there. Like, it's just different. It drums things up. I love it.
And I appreciate the fact that both of them can take the 10,000-foot view and realize that. Besides their own personal kind of, which Brooks also did explain today, that Bryson was, before he got behind him in the now infamous clip, he was like loudly talking to his caddy, like, that was a great shot. Like, it should have missed, like, whatever. And he even, walked exactly. And then, all the, hey, Brooksy, people are getting kicked out. And, of course, Brooks goes on his social media and says, we'll give you a free case of beer in case your weekend got cut short at the tournament this weekend. So, I think at this point it hasn't gotten, the mothers aren't involved. So, that's when it gets to that point, then it's, we're going to throw. But they're civil, but entertaining at the same time. So let's take a look here at, well, we already played the other one. Actually, let's bring in the CEO of the program right now as we transition over to baseball. So let's bring him in on the Corey's Market and Liquor Celebrity Hotline. We do have the celebrity CEO of the program, as he chooses to go by the name RIP Connors Balls. Nick joining the program right now. We will live update whatever's going on with the Loyal game. But Nick, how are you doing this evening?
Doing amazing. Doing fine here on my PC principal shit right now. Just kicking it. How are you guys?
Doing well. I think we have to start. If we're talking baseball, we got to start with your boy.
Cole.
And yeah, I mean, a lot of people saw it, and it's gonna live on as a drop on this show forever. But he really really nutted up big time when you knew the question was coming, and apparently he didn't, or he doesn't know how to talk to people, or I don't know, whatever. But here is the extended cut of his initial response.
And have you ever used spider tap while pitching?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest. I mean, there are customs and practices that have been passed down from older players to younger players, from the last generation of players to this generation of players, and I think there are some things that are certainly out of bounds in that regard, and I've stood pretty firm in terms of that, in terms of the communication between our peers and whatnot. And I, again, like I mentioned earlier, there's this is important to a lot of people that love the game, and this is including the players in this room, including fans, including teams. And so if MLB wants to legislate some more stuff, that's a conversation that we can have, because ultimately we should all be pulling in the same direction on this.
Just don't say anything.
It was a yes or no question, and that was like over a minute.
We go now to a live shot of Gerrit Cole's hand. But
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Nick, I mean, how do you reconcile for your
All
boy?
right, so
You're on the hook for like a lot of money right now.
You see all these reactions. First, Jaime, yes, it's all about the U right now. What you see next week's college team shirt that I have coming in. But if you can see the reaction I was making in the background, it's like if on their PR manager, this is like me, like I'm either getting ready to run and tackle this guy, punch him, or I'm like fucking breaking everything in the back, because like
off to the side, just unplug the mic.
Yes.
We're having audio problems. Gerrit
he's got COVID. Everyone leave.
Somebody just like hit the fire alarm like real quick.
Hey, everyone out. We gotta go. We don't know what's happening.
Do like a damn desk pop just to kind of like just change the subject. But Jesus, oh my God. Clearly, and I know we were talking about this before too. Like remember the Chappelle show? Like when what if we had a black president, which look, ended up happening. He was like, "Oil, bitch, you cooking?" Oh, and then like everyone's just running around.
Boot out. Just take off.
Just boot out.
Like, leave the stage. No more questions. Sorry, not at this time. But it's a pretty well-known thing that this is going on. So,
yes, you're just incriminating yourself like even more. Like Bauer's living in his head somewhere.
Well, just say no, or just hit it like right up front. Just like, I'm not here to talk about that. Even that is like a non-answer. Yes. That's better. But
next question.
Fading around, just like, well, I mean, how can I? And then things they've been passed down from the older generations, which it's like, bro, dude, oh my God,
stop.
Just cut him right now.
Like he went from having like his brain fried for like 10 seconds to then just like saying all kinds of crap. Like he went from not being able to say anything to saying the worst possible things and dragging it on.
It's like I thought he was recalibrating himself. Like he's like, I was like, okay, something's gonna come out of this. He's gonna come up like,
The system is resetting.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
gotta reboot.
Older generations have passed this down to you. I was like, all right, so not only are you incriminating yourself, you're gonna just go and throw people in the past under the bus. Great.
Yeah,
Good job,
dead guys? What the hell, man? Come on. They're not
Good
even here
job.
to defend themselves.
Or
Come
it's like,
on, man.
just pull a Bryce Harper. It's a clown question, bro. It's a clown question.
You had to know
That would have been a better response.
You had to know it was coming. And Gerrit Cole, man, not a great look. But I will say this. It will just that that one snippet will live on as a drop on this show forever.
I don't know.
It's like when someone tells me the
I don't know
teleprompter
if
and they just either can't read it or they just
I don't
freeze
know
up.
quite. I
Yeah,
don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
I don't know. Like everyone in baseball does. I mean, not everyone in baseball. I mean,
That's also an amazing answer to a yes or no question. I don't know how to respond to that. The question was, do you use Spider Tack or no? That's not like a. It's not a. It is multiple choice. It's two choices, yes or no. Like,
it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, just yes, and violently disagree, or but don't go on for 5 minutes with no answer. Like that's the literal worst thing that you could possibly do there. So, like I said, I feel like a lot of the pitchers out there are using it.
Absolutely.
Whatever advantage.
Trevor Bauer has implicitly admitted
Yes.
to doing it without saying the words, daring MLB to test for it or come and actually suspend me or whatever. It's going to be weird to see. Now, apparently starting Monday, it's going to be free for all. They can check the pitcher, they can check the catcher, first baseman, anyone that has contact with that ball, throwing it back to them, back and forth.
The left fielder.
Well, I mean, that'd be quite a pickoff move.
Bullpen coach, bullpen catcher.
The bat boy, the ball boy. Oh my God, I'm talking about the ball boy.
Yeah.
He's probably on it too.
He was the guy. That was the guy.
Little shithead.
Look, ball boys across the country are going to be the patsy on this, taking the fall. I'm just going to assume that right now.
Or how do we know it's not the umps?
Right? Yeah, let's what if somebody does that? What if a player pats the ump on the back and puts some tar or something on the umpire's back without him knowing?
Like a little Hey, here you go.
But I mean, because I was reading a USA Today article, and it was talking about how now the league average is 237. I was like, wow, this is really showing that this is the year of the pitcher. But now with all this, it's
high.
Yeah, me too. Before the Spider Tack.
Yeah. I was like,
There is no hitting anymore. There's home runs, walks, and strikeouts. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this can't work. It's definitely against the pitchers now. It's what are the repercussions that are coming from this? What is MLB baseball going to do as far as hey, now because of this, and with how we monitor the spin rate, are we going to move the mound back even more? Because ideally, pitching duels are great, but dingers are also what is kind of entertaining about the game of baseball. Plus, it probably extend the games because I've noticed lately too. Even at Padres games, these things are less than 3 hours. I mean, the game we went to, it was
this is what you wanted. This is what you
Manfred
wanted.
Yep.
Come on, you can't have it both ways, Manfred. Just let them slather up and throw whatever they've got on their hand, and let's we keep it moving. Like I said, if that's what you want to do, God bless them.
Jeez. I think they also got to be real careful with what they do here because, again, as we've said for the last year or so, the CBA is coming up, and anything that happens now is going to be remembered during those arguments. So we'll see what happens.
And no matter what, whether pitchers are using it or not, one thing that will stay the same: Angel Hernandez will still be in mid-season 4 of every call.
Of course.
Well, I mean that's just a fact of life. But one other thing that we do have to touch on before we get off baseball is
God, Key Bryan, my guy, Key Bryan.
The Pirates. I mean,
man,
we already saw. To me, what is the most stunning and outstanding play of the season, with Javier Baez somehow with 2 outs finding himself in a rundown between home and first. What in the actual hell is happening? Just
Tag him.
just step on the base. Just step on the base.
Saying that sentence is so weird. A rundown between home and first.
Even with no outs, that should never happen. But with 2 outs, I mean, it's a given. Like, even if you totally took a brain fart, all right, get the ball, step on first. We're walking back to the dugout. We're chilling.
Yep.
So the fact that happened, already amazing. I mean, again, my play of the season personally. But, Brian Hayes hits a home run. Turns out to be arguably the longest out.
It's not a home run. It is a foul out to the first baseman is what it is. So Max Muncy credited for an out on a ball that went over the fence.
I mean, you got to fire everyone that's involved with the Pirates at this point. Like, how do you not understand how first base works? Like, look, this was a home run. You do have to touch all the bases. It's literally, touch them all, touch home plate as well. But how do they keep having problems understanding what first base is? Like, you guys are pros. Like, first base, it's there for a reason.
I will also say this. Massive shout out to Dodgers backup catcher Austin Barnes for being the one that noticed that Brian Hayes didn't touch first base and said, challenge that play. He didn't touch first. So shout out to him. Shout out to him on an off day making the big play of the game.
And kind of, to Jaime's point here, first base, it has different connotations, but for professional baseball players, I feel like it has the most connotation. Like, first base is we start here. Like, you've got to get there, and then you're on base, and then we figure it out from there. Like, how do you have this happen 2 times in like a 3-week span that people don't understand how first base works? It's mind blowing.
And it's not like it was a double or anything where you had like a double. You're trying to sprint to second base. I can get it. You missed first base because you're in the hustle, but which you thought was a home run. You
can tip it. Take the look at it for a while. Just kind of jog around, like even doing like the Tatis stutter step, like tap it, like just touch it, and then we move on. But no, alas, Pirates stay the Pirates. This is wow, this is unbelievable that this.
Now, did the first base coach get any heat for this too? Because it's like, hey, like he passed you. Did you not notice anything? Or is it now like, hey, now he's gonna be like, shit. Not only can these fools not end an inning, now I have to make sure that these guys touch first base even on a home run.
Look, maybe that's on the first base coach if this is like a T-ball game for 6-year-olds. Yes. But in a Major League Baseball game, that is 100% on the player.
It's like they say, you can't assume the double play, but I think if you're coaching a major league team, you can assume they would touch first base. Like,
and now it's like shit. I have to make sure
you should not have to double check their work as far as touching the bases. Like, come on, dude, you just hit a 420-foot home run. Just touch them. Just like lightly graze them as you go by. Like it's fine. Oh my god! I definitely like Justin's idea.
Fair idea.
Spider tack on cleats. Put on the bases too.
Bring the base with you, for God's sakes. Like,
I was gonna say, it'll pull the base right out of the mooring. You'll just be running around with the
just pick it up.
Bases attached to your feet.
But no one can argue that you didn't touch any of the bases.
But that's true. Yeah. You touched it, and it's irrefutable.
And it's proven, and we don't have to go back to replay and go back to New York or whatever. But wow, man, that is. Oh, Pirates. I can't. Look, I'm happy that it was to the benefit of the Dodgers, but at the same time, these are allegedly major league players. I mean,
these are professional players.
And it's like asking, so did you touch first base? I don't know. I mean, baseball players touch bases, to the yes or no question. Yes.
Define touch. I mean,
people from the past that touch the bases. So, younger players should be touching the bases. Like, shut up. Just shut up.
Touch is really subjective. I mean, come on. If you really think about it, like, what is a touch? Really? That's when you step on it and you would continue advancing around the bases. But hopefully Hayes learns from this and moves on, although I have no faith in the Pirates coaching staff to further educate him on how terrible this actually was.
Hey, I still got faith in Key Brian Hayes. That's my dude. I shouted him out before the season started.
No, he's a beast. He's like, they got all these prospects. They're the Pirates. They've been loading up on prospects. Lord knows,
A lot of
they're not
early
trying
picks. That's true.
They are not trying to win in the major leagues right now, but really,
Wow.
really want to step on that base next time, guy. Just man, that's tough.
It is now a close game. Just a quick update for the playoffs. It's a close game. Phoenix 81, Denver 61. Pretty close. Neck and neck right now.
Well, that provides an excellent segue.
Dude, your feed is so far behind.
I know. It is now the third quarter.
I'm kidding. Your feed's right on.
I know. Yeah. A certain streaming service has not lived up to the live sports month.
You know what? Dame hasn't lived up to, but I'm not going to get into the whole thing. But if they want to be a sponsor, we will speak kindly of you going ahead. But I have to say, joining us on the program at this point, we do have on the Canada Steak Burger Celebrity Hotline, Mr. No ID Justin, also joining the Fatal Four-Way here. Justin, how are you doing this evening, first of all?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Amazing.
Doing outstanding.
My seltzer, I'm good.
It's got the Costco LaCroix going. But on the note of the NBA,
so just to clarify before we delve into the NBA, Nick, you are watching Game 2, right? You're not in the third quarter of Game 1 on
Let me confirm.
delay.
Let me confirm because I have
Nick is
certain streaming service.
It's
are you
not
watching
just
the first round game?
It's not just live sports. It's a lifestyle.
He's watching the 1999 Western Conference semifinals.
Great series.
It's possible. Yeah. I mean, yes, classic series, of course. But we don't know what we're going to get from a said streaming service, not a sponsor. But again, we will bolster your reputation if you do choose to come on board. So, get down or lay down.
Yeah.
But speaking of the NBA and whatever version of it that Nick is currently seeing, we have to take a look here at what is left here. The Hawks, I still kind of like the Hawks to win that series, but Philly had to have that game yesterday. Embiid had 40 points. I think the thing that stood out to me was Embiid could score whenever he wants, and Simmons had pretty much a bad game. I mean, the Hawks, to me, it seems like they got to just keep shooting like insanely hot all the time, or just live off like lobs from
Ice Tray.
Yeah, Ice Tray to Capella or whoever else down there. But I still kind of like the Hawks. I'm not gonna lie. In this series, like Brooklyn, all roads lead to Brooklyn right now. I think they're gonna win the whole thing. But
yeah, man, that series doesn't even matter. But sorry, I know that's a really breaking analysis, but I just think it was funny. Like all the Hawks fans were puffing their chest out after Game 1, and just everybody's riding the Trae Young wave, and then Game 2 they come back down to earth. But that's an interesting series. Obviously, I feel like that's the series of like variables. That's the high variable series. Like there's so many inconsistencies between Embiid's performance, Ben Simmons, free throw shooting, just a number of different variants, how hot the Hawks are from behind the arc on any given night. There's just so many things that can go one way or the other on any given night when those two teams hit the floor. I'm kind of leaning towards Philly after, the Game 2 performance. I like what you said about Atlanta. I think they're the more exciting team. They're more fun to watch, but I just don't think this is sustainable, especially because I see this series going to 6 or 7 games. It's, again, not a bold statement being that it's 1-1 at this point. But, Brooklyn, I mean, both these teams get wiped by Brooklyn in 4 games. I don't see any other scenario. I don't know how you guys feel.
I agree. I say this thing goes into 7. based on just like you said, the sheer consistencies of it. Ideally, I don't see anyone going up more than 2 games. Like a 2-game lead is definitely not guaranteed. It is not guaranteed to happen. You're probably going to see it.
It's not guaranteed.
Yes, it's not. It's going to go back and forth.
It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
The only thing
It's
I
not
can see
guaranteed.
really helping the Sixers get past Trae Young is just throwing Ben Simmons at him. Throw a big body at him, wear him out, get physical with him. Because I think what was lacking in the Knicks series was that the Knicks were comfortable giving him space. They were comfortable. At first, they would double team, and then they were comfortable just giving him the space to shoot, dribble, drive, penetration, open up for a lob. And I'm like, hey, like, you know, this guy isn't that big. Just throw something at him to kind of just keep him at bay. But, I mean, Ice Trae will do what Ice Trae does.
I don't know. I feel like, knocking Ben Simmons to the ground, that's dangerous, dude. We might have a Rookie of the Year situation, and he might Rowan Gardner his way into a broke arm, and then all of a sudden he's a lights-out shooter from behind the arc. So I don't think that's a risk that you want to run if you're Atlanta. But, we'll see how it plays out, man.
I can't wait to see that in the final game of the year when Simmons does the underhand shot because his mom is in the crowd saying, "Lob it,
float it, the floater."
float it." Yep.
The only thing I'm going to say last on this series is, does anyone else feel bad for Vince Carter? Like, shouldn't he be here right now? He chose to go to the Hawks.
Yeah.
Just, like, live out his twilight on the Hawks. And he could, potentially at least get to a conference finals at, like, age 47 or however old he is. I'm exaggerating there, but he just missed out by 1 year. I mean, damn. Come on, give it up for VC.
Cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded. He should be out there.
Be careful with Embiid with that injury because I just kind of see what happened to AD back in 2019. I was like, I understand the playoffs, you're trying to make it, but just be very careful what that meniscus tear could turn into.
The only thing, yes, Embiid is definitely injury prone, but I saw him just take Capella, just work the fuck out of him last night a couple times. 4 straight possessions. Just bully him down and dunk it. Then, a turnaround jump shot. Left or right.
There's no doubt about it, dude. When he's right, he's the best. He's the best big man in the game. And I'm saying that as a Lakers fan with street clothes on my team. When Embiid is right, he's the best, dude. His footwork, it's not even like he's throwback because I feel like he's way more athletic than most of the bigs that, we saw growing up. But yeah, he's definitely fun to watch. And when he's right, he can carry that team. And I feel like even as inconsistent as that is, that might be more likely to happen than the Hawks just shooting lights out for 3 more games,
Well, I thought that was the thing that stood out last night. I mean, yes, they won. So in hindsight, it looks great for them. But when they needed points, he was able to just get them. He's like, all right, I can shoot or I could just take someone down, back them down. He has the touch around the rim, that kind of thing. So that's going to be your go-to money make. I'm, not like back in the day Shaq level of just it's automatic, but the Hawks, they don't really have something for that. If it gets down to where it's it's a 3-point game and there's 5 minutes left, they can just start throwing it to Embiid every time and let him go to work. And he can just knock fools out and he can score, or get a good shot anyway.
What if we see the Hawks implement a hack of Simmons down the stretch?
Oh.
Put Simmons on the line. Actually, that would be pretty great. I think if they're not considering that, then they're missing it. At least have that in your back pocket. Because he is totally afraid of shooting the ball from the free throw line or the field at this point.
Oh, close game still. Like it.
Brooklyn wins the move on.
Yeah, we're good. We're good on that.
Don't need to say anything else about that. Yeah,
I think we're good on that.
That's pretty much the long and short of it.
Utah Clippers. I do see this one going long, 6 or 7 games. I don't know. Playoff P. I'm just hoping that he completely continues to nut up. now that it's more of a high leverage situation. I expect Utah to have the 2-0 lead. It's not even like a huge home court advantage for the Clippers. Like, it's hard for me to picture like a Clippers fan. Like, still, like, yes, I'm biased as a Laker fan, but just, is there really an advantage? Like, but we'll get back home to our cardboard cutouts and it'll be sick, and we'll start raging on these fools. Like, Kawhi was tearing it up, and he looked really good, but playoff P, pandemic P, whatever you want to call him, I don't trust that fool. Like, I feel like he's going to be the key to the Pandora's box of the Clippers being the Clippers again.
He's the anti-playoff Rondo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think this may be bold too. Utah in 5, dude.
Thank you.
I honestly,
Thank you.
I think that what they're doing, they're just basically like, okay, let's lock down the mid range. Don't let Kawhi and these guys and Kawhi's gonna get his, but don't let these other guys, don't let playoff P get going. They're protecting the mid range and they're funneling
Pandemic
everything.
P, please.
They're funneling everything to the 2-time defensive player of the year, and he's just gonna do work down there, dude. He's gonna make things difficult for those guys throughout the entire series, and I just feel like Utah is just gonna smother them, and the Clippers are gonna do Clippers things. And again, I'm speaking from the same mold as you, my friend, in terms of like it's the Clippers and how I feel about them, obviously. But I don't see a scenario where, unless it is just Kawhi goes ape shit and puts the entire shit on his back and carries them, and he's hitting threes and everything else. But other than that, I feel like Utah is gonna clean this series pretty fast.
I agree.
Yeah, I know the other night I said I expected the Clippers to get to 3 wins before Utah, but then find a way to blow it. Last night's game didn't instill me with that confidence. I'll stick with it just because I said it, but I do think, at the end of the day, the Clippers are going to clipper and find a way to lose the series if Utah doesn't just automatically blow them out anyways.
The Clippers are going to clipper at some point, even if it's not in this series. Like, I mean, just let's assume we're living in a world where they get out of this series and win.
Rest assured, Reggie Jackson, Mr. June, is going to take over one of these games.
I say Clippers go down in 5. So yeah, Jazz at this point well rested. I would say Clippers were kind of in a battle tested form coming into this, but I mean the fatigue's eventually going to wear because you got a day of travel before game 1, and you just came off a grueling 7-game series with Luka. Playoff P, yeah, so I think it's over for him. This is it. I think this is just for the whole Clippers team. If they're going down, and that team is just literally going to explode in the offseason.
After the show, though, Nick, I want you to go to Spotrac, the website, and I want you to take a glance at Paul George's contract. And then I want you to also take a look at the draft picks for the next 5 years for the Clippers.
Oh God,
there is no blowing up pandemic P. He is there for the long haul. It's Kawhi that they need to worry about because he can stroll down the hall and win 2 rings.
So here's the thing, though: playoff P and Kawhi both can opt out after the season.
Does P lead that money, bro? Does P lead that money? Palmdale's very own. Does he want to lead that money and leave LA?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying I wouldn't. He might do it. You're right. He won't get as good of money elsewhere. Like I won't argue that, but he might leave if they flame out again. I could see it.
But yeah, the mark on him is going to be so strong around the league. Like, we don't want this fool for that much money. Like, I don't know, like, where he goes from here. So it's going to be – there's a lot more at stake there for the Clippers. I will say that. Beyond just, like, doing classic Clipper things and being the Clippers, which I still expect to happen at some point. But I think the most interesting one is the Denver Phoenix. And Jaime actually pointed that out at some point, I think, in the comments. You have the MVP and the Joker, which I feel was deserved. I mean, if you take him off that team, They're not where they are right now. And a nightmare matchup with Ayton. I mean, Ayton pretty much went, toe-to-toe with that fool in the first game. And that's going to be tough for them.
It's still a
But-
close game right now.
Yes.
102-75.
Yeah,
No,
with
okay.
eight and a half with 8.5 left. That's real tight game there. So look, that's going to be Phoenix up 2-0. Look, going to Denver, it is tough. You're playing at altitude, yada yada yada, all the classic Colorado game stuff. But like Phoenix, just right now, man, they just aren't missing. They're a young team that's not scared of anything. Like it's this Phoenix team is a hell of a lot of fun to watch, man.
Well, for my sadistic Lakers fan validation, I hope they win the whole thing. But I don't see it happening. We'll see, because I think Brooklyn's going to kill everyone.
It's the guards, it's the backcourts in this series. That's the glaring difference in my opinion. Phoenix's backcourt is just way better. You have a Hall of Fame point guard, whether he's hobbled or not, and then you have arguably the best two guard in the league. So it's just that's what separates it. And like I said, if Ayton can just match and wear out on the Joker, then obviously they cancel each other out to a lesser degree, and then the guards just take over, and Phoenix is always going to have the advantage in that department.
And what sucks is like they don't even have like if the Joker like flames out of this, like they don't have a second scoring option, like a dominant second scoring option because you lost Murray. So it's like, oh, now you're right. The backcourt's definitely just gonna feast.
And that's the thing you're going to hear a lot of, and deservedly so. If and when Denver gets eliminated from this playoff run, that's all people are going to be saying is like, dude, if they had Jamal Murray. And valid point, man. Imagine the ceiling for this current team and how they're playing if Jamal Murray is healthy and on that team. I mean, good God.
I totally agree. And I think things are much easier for Murray also, like the numbers he's putting up because of Jokic. Like, it's a weird team where the offense kind of runs like, it's not like a classic big man offense, but it's like it runs inside out because this fool can like pass, and he's like the pivot in the middle of the entire half court. So like people get good shots, he draws double teams, he can score on his own. But without someone that's just like lights out like that, that kind of takes the wind out of their sails a little bit.
So do you guys think Denver's going to get any wins out of the series? Are we looking at a clean sweep, maybe a gentleman's sweep where they give up game 4 in Denver and then take it in 5 in Phoenix? Like, what do you guys think?
I don't know. Like I said, it's fascinating to me because like you have the MVP just announced yesterday, but just against a team like that is so hot right now, pardon the Suns pun, whatever who cares? But like all these guys can't miss, and then it's also the rare MVP that is not like, you need the ball to go through him, but he is not like demanding the ball all the time. So he's not going to just like, oh, my team's down, I got to put up 50 tonight, and that's it. Like, he's never going to be that guy, which is part of what makes him so good. Like, he's so balanced, but he's not going to like shoot you back into like a chance in this series. So I don't know. It'll be weird to see how that plays out.
I say Phoenix in 5. Nuggets eke out a win, but I mean it's just gonna come down to Phoenix just letting Joker do what he does, just like Tyler alluded to in the Clippers Mavericks series. Let Luka score and just make sure everyone else just can't do what they do. One man alone can't physically beat you a full.
But it's a way lesser extent as far as the way Denver plays, because Luka's used to having the ball all the time. Like,
one man can't beat you unless that man's name is Alex Caruso.
He's the only one, and now he's gone. R.I.P.
That's true.
We will see him soon.
Look, it's why the Lakers didn't win, because they just didn't feed Caruso.
Just feed the beast.
That was a good one, guys. That was a good one.
And apparently we've lost Nick now. Oh, no, he's back. He's back. On to Jaime's last note. There is a little bit of soccer talk. I know we have the soccer historian of record on the program, No ID Justin, and fellow SD loyal partial owner with myself, the CEO.
You guys want an update on that game, by the way?
Yes, please. Before I go,
no, I don't. But go ahead.
We're at the 69th minute. It is 1-1.
69.
Nice.
But we all know the real game happens after the 90th minute. That's when shit really.
That's when it all goes terrible. The only thing I wanted to say about soccer is, you know what? We'll start on the negative and we'll finish with the positive. So the negative is all the Super League teams in the Premier League got, quote unquote, fined $3.5 million, which is nothing. That's gonna kill him. I don't know, like Joe Exotic. I'll never financially recover from this. Oh yeah, God forbid. But thoughts and prayers go out to Arsenal and well, not really Arsenal because that kind of probably does screw them up. But Chelsea bidding like $150 million for different guys right now. But just I feel like at this point, don't even do it. Like $3.5 million, it just makes it even more of a punch in the dick to all the other fans, even the fans of those teams that realize what's really going on, or fans of other teams in that league. That's just like for Man City, $3.5 million.
That's not even a slap on the wrist, because a slap on the wrist like might sting for a second. Like that $3.5 million, that's like, all right, whatever. I made
that's a charitable donation.
I just made that much money right now from my other business, so we're good. Like I'm not worried about it.
Oh man, but the best part of all of it, if there was a silver lining, was of course the Arsenal trolling.
Yes,
which was on in full effect. Arsenal haters and Arsenal fans alike joined in. And this guy actually that tweeted this is an Arsenal fan. Arsenal, they're going to try to negotiate down maybe $2 million, just see if they'll take that. I got two. I don't know. I can put 2 on it. And then all the other Arsenal fans like, dude, our whole transfer budget is ruined for the summer. That 3.5, that set us back. Big time.
So that was, and I accidentally flashed this up earlier, but there was another thing that came out again in regards to Super League punishments here. Of see here, each team will be reduced 5% of its European income, which then I did see fans again, Arsenal haters and Arsenal fans both stating. So does that exclude Arsenal from this since they didn't make a European competition this year? Dude, they're playing 40 chess. They're playing 40 chess out here. I'm telling you, man.
So they got that going. I mean, already going in the champ.
Can't be fined 5% if you don't make anything. What's 5% of nothing?
Look, the initial move, just going in the Super League, was like, look, we can't win our regular league. Definitely not going to win the Champions League. Free pass to the Super League? All right, yes.
Heck yeah.
Sign up. We'll take the money. But, yeah, it's funny in a way, but the amount of money that all these teams have, it's just kind of a further punch in the face to everyone. Just like, oh, we're going to punish you guys. Don't do that again. And then,
you know what? Jaime, to answer that question, at least Arsenal can say, like, look, 20 years ago we were a power. How is Tottenham in the Super League? That's the question.
And there's that. Actually, I don't know because I saw, again, UEFA, shout out, always above board. They just magically suspended their investigation against Juventus, Real Madrid, and I'm not sure if Barcelona was one of those other teams that were involved continuing. It was like for not disavowing the Super League. Like that was the initial charge against them, which already is dumb. But I don't know. The whole thing is just like ridiculous.
We've suspended the investigation on this, and in a completely unrelated note, we're all going on a trip to Monaco for 2 weeks. Completely unrelated.
We'll get back to it in 2024.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll figure
Yeah.
it out. Let's take a look though in brighter news. Heroes coming up as Tyler, like I said, informed me last night. My fantasy Euro strategy is wildly inaccurate. Again, thank you, UEFA, for making this insane. But let's take a look at it. Obviously, traditional powerhouses. Italy in Group A. Got to think they're coming out of there. The rest of it, kind of a mishmash, though. I could see Wales, a lot of talent. Turkey, always a lot of talent.
Turkey scores a ton. That's the thing, is they score it. They're kind of like the Leeds, where they just score a ton, but they also might give up 6 goals.
They get up and down. Jaime the Greek coming in. Wales winning Group A.
Backing Gareth Bale. I like it.
The only thing is, and I will say, this is definitely not the best Italy team we've seen, but in these tournaments, Italy, they come to do one thing, and that is to not give up goals. They will bunker the hell out of everything. You'll see everyone behind the midfield line, just we don't care about scoring. We're just not going to get scored on.
I think that their team hasn't given up a goal in their last 9 games or something like that. That's what they do, man. They are a stonewall of defense.
Get it to penalties. We'll figure it out. But there's no Pirlo to chip it in.
That's true.
So that one actually looks pretty wide open to me. I'm always a low-key Russia fan because they do have good players. As a team, as a national team, I don't know what kind of effort is going to show up. Belgium, obviously, got to be the favorite there with all the talent. It's kind of like a golden generation thing going on for Belgium right now. Mm-hmm. But I think those are the 2 best teams there. I mean, Belgium won. Probably Russia second, and then maybe wild card Denmark and Finland probably the third favorite.
I don't even think that. I think Finland's easily the worst in this group.
Yeah, I think after that it's kind of a crapshoot.
I think beyond Teemu Pukki, Finland has absolutely nothing, and Pukki's not a guy that can individually take a game over. He does need help. Well,
especially if it's going to be a bunch of guys just bombing it up to him all game, please score, please score. So he is elite, European talent right now, but the rest of the team, I don't know. Timo Solani maybe come out of retirement, step up.
Yari Curry is going to get out there and play destroyer.
Looking at Group C, Netherlands, always, the talent is there. They got guys all over the big leagues.
Give me North Macedonia.
North Macedonia, come on. I love it. Gotta love it. Well, if this is true, big if true, if Russia's new center back is Khabib, then he's a stopper. He is a stopper back there.
For sure. No, I think you're at Group C. I think it's Netherlands. Austria might have a chance. Austria's got a few decent players, but I think Netherlands is kind of easily the class in that group.
I think for second, it's a coin flip, Austria and Ukraine. But come on, North Macedonia. I'd love to see it. Iceland was a harsh, the whole world got behind Iceland a couple years ago when they punched up.
True.
So would love to see a similar thing, but I don't know. Macedonia, I don't know if they got the juice. Group D, very interesting as well. Croatia, very capable. England, coming off a 4th or 5th place finish in the World Cup, the last one.
Was it 3rd or 4th?
Most of those guys returning, so probably the favorite to win this group. Certainly the betting favorite because, entertainment purposes only. But England fans do love to get out there and bet. But don't be surprised if Croatia, Czech Republic, no. But Croatia, It would be kind of funny, and they do have great jerseys if they end up winning that group.
I'm sure if I looked at their roster, I would recognize more people on Croatia. But the only person I can think of off the top of my head on the team is Luka Modric. And that's a hell of a player. Don't get me wrong, but
he's in the wheelhouse.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody else on Croatia. Czech Republic, look, they got two guys on there that Ronnie and I both love, Sushek and Sufal, but I don't know about the rest of the team. Scotland's a fun story that they even made it. I remember, Ronnie, when you played that clip some months back when they qualified, and you could just see the emotion on their team captain and the fact they even made the Euros. So Scotland's a feel-good story, but if England doesn't sweep through the group, that would probably be pretty disappointing.
Well, even if they go first and have some allegedly horrific tie, the overreaction on TalkSport will be worth its weight in gold.
Look, bro, you already know. Look, the Euros are so much harder to win than the World Cup. We all know Kloppy said this on TalkSport the other day. So maybe we cut England a little bit of slack.
I think they get out here unscathed. If they do get out in second, it'll just be funny. But, I mean, they're getting out of the group. Group E, somewhat more interesting. You have Spain, perennial powerhouse. You have Poland.
Young Spain team, too.
Yeah, total rebuild Spain, but, they always reload. Poland, you do have Lewandowski. I mean, he just scored a goal right now. I said his name, He just scored. Wherever he's at on earth, he probably stood up out of bed and scored a goal. So that is always a capable threat. But again, I wouldn't say it's a one-man team, but he is the guy that they really need to super ball out. And then Group F obviously would be considered the group of death in this situation.
That's right, with Hungary in there. That makes it the group of death.
Everyone looking up at Hungary.
Yeah.
But, Portugal, France, and Germany. Germany getting rid of their longtime coach after this Euros. France, as we know, the champions right now. And Portugal, maybe quite possibly, but we don't know for sure, Ronaldo's last tournament internationally. So we will see. But several powerhouses in that Group F.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert to you, Ronnie, but for my team, I did go. I looked pretty heavy into Portugal for my fantasy team for this first game, especially since they're opening against Hungary. That Portugal team, God, they're still so loaded. But France, if you look at their roster, that team is absolutely ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. If you're talking about so loaded, look at France. They've been there and they're still there.
It's weird to think to me that this is the group of death, and I'm still thinking France is comfortably going to win that group. That's insane to me.
Germany is definitely going in a transition, especially it's already, they put it out there that they're going to move on to a new coach. Mm-hmm. But it's not like they're going to get a terrible coach coming in. And they always play well in these tournaments. I don't really see Germany blowing a lot of games. We saw the worldwide public shaming that they did to Brazil in Brazil. And it was just oh, man, all right, you guys could chill. But no, the German war machine rolled on. They just, no feelings at all. Just knocking them in, one after the other.
There's no emotion to them. They are truly a machine.
So that's always something to be reckoned with. And they still have all these good players. But really looking at Group F as a big question mark. And then, again, I'm not an England fan, but I'm torn because I want England to do well after they're riding high. It's coming home, all this stuff after the World Cup, after their very respectable finish. But I'm also torn because it would be funny if they just crash out. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, I mean, look, just for as they would say in England, for the bants, I would like to see. It would be really funny if England didn't do well.
For the bants.
But look, I still think all roads in this go through France. Like you said, it is
Yeah.
crazy stacked. As crazy stacked as Group F is, I will still be shocked if France doesn't sweep through that. Maybe they get a draw against Germany. I'd see them either getting two wins of a draw or 3 wins going through that group. Obviously we don't know how the brackets are going to play out in the knockout stage till after group play is done. But Italy, like you said, Italy's a team I could see getting to the finals just because again they play defense and they play really well.
Italy they kind of have that same thing in a way more annoying way than Germany. Is that they always play well in these big tournaments because whatever they do, they will not give up a goal. Like if it kills them, if they don't even try to score their own goal, they will literally die defending their own goal. So,
and then they will touch your face afterwards.
And a lot of face touching, which is very annoying.
Especially in a pandemic. Please don't
shout out. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. We're just coming out of the pandemic. But you saw what they did to Zidane. Just got him too riled up. He had to headbutt that fool.
I do think kind of one big thing is, you mentioned Belgium earlier. They are in a golden age for their players, but they are probably going to be without De Bruyne through the group stage, which shouldn't be a problem in the group stage. But I'll be curious to see how well he plays when he comes back, probably in the knockout stage after taking that pretty brutal hit to the head / face in the Champions League final.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that too. I mean, it seemed like when you're watching on TV, you have no idea. So it's like, all right, it seems like he's actually hurt. Then they saw.
I think Ronnie's cell phone died. Okay, that's great. Well, yeah, I mean, like Ronnie, I think like what Ronnie was saying though is initially it didn't seem like it seemed like a injury that might take De Bruyne out just for the game in the Champions League final, but then it comes out like actually he's broken an eye socket or whatever it was, so he's hurt pretty bad. Like I said, it'll keep him out of the group stage, but he should be back again for the knockout stage. We should get some wins there. Just some other yes, it is the Tyler show, sadly. I am curious to see, again, Group E. I think Kai may have made a comment earlier. Group E is going to be pretty brutal. Like that one, I think Spain is still probably the favorite, but again, because they're kind of younger, going through a new transition period, they may not be as dominant as before, but I think they're good enough to win that group, get through there. I'm kind of curious to see what they do against the higher quality opponents when they get into the knockout stage. Beyond that, man, yeah, I don't know. I think it's France and then everybody else. I'd love to be wrong on that. I'd love to see. I am a fan of Germany. I'd love to see some underdog team come up and make it happen. But I just don't think it's anybody but France through this tournament. So I don't know. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Maybe we'll even give you some updates on how our Fantasy Euros teams are doing, even though Ron and I know he said I kind of gave him pointers on what to do for that, but I still don't think either of us really know what they're doing because it is definitely different compared to Fantasy Premier League as far as just strategies, chips, playing games, all that stuff. So, but yes, this is something that we will be keeping an eye on. Definitely looking forward to that. I don't believe we have anything else, and I hate to end the show without Ronnie on here. But I don't believe we have anything left. Sorry, I know this isn't exciting me looking at this here. I mean, are you saying is that it's over for Spain or it's over for France? Let's see what else we got going on here. I don't believe we talked NHL. We'll just touch on that real quick here. So earlier today, the Islanders did knock out the Bruins here. So the Islanders go through to the semifinals. There we can see in the other side, you got the Avalanche, who actually have just fallen behind to the Golden Knights 3-2 in the series. What do we got here? We got the CEO calling in. What's going on, buddy?
Man, real quick. You know who I blame for this?
Who do you blame?
Landon.
Oh no, what did Landon do?
See, I'm telling you, he takes
I'm
Ronnie's
back.
health. Oh, he's back. Oh.
There.
The phone died, so I apologize.
I called it.
Oh, oh
Called
man.
it.
Right, I was about to go on a rant right now about Landon.
Please go on.
I was gonna say taking his health. Now he's taking our service.
Did
Jesus.
they lose? Did they lose?
It's the 90th minute, still 1-1.
Oh God.
This is where it all falls apart, boys.
My bad. Sorry.
But
No.
yeah, so like I said, Vegas taking the lead over Colorado. A bit surprising. I really like Colorado going to this one, but again, they've still got 2 chances to get through here. I know Ronnie was happy about the Bruins getting knocked out by the Islanders earlier today.
I mean, come on. It's Boston. I'm never going to root for them.
Then we also did have last night the Tampa Bay Lightning knocked out the Carolina Hurricanes, so they are officially through. And I believe we did mention the other night Montreal going through as well. So yeah, we could have our semifinals set for the beginning of next week.
Shout out to Islanders fans already starting the "We Want Tampa" chant early on.
That never ever goes well.
No, it probably doesn't. But I respect the effort. I'm happy for them.
Sure.
And
Hey, they've got to be happy about something, right? They've got to be happy about something.
Well, I apologize for my phone taking a dump. I have to say.
How dare you? How dare you?
I thought I had it like 70%. I thought it was good. But alas, it was not good. So
It was not.
It was not. So that's all I got. Thank you guys, as always, making it wildly entertaining with your comments and calls. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Jaime. Everyone that commented in tonight. We still have a bounty of good playoffs in the NHL and basketball. Euros coming up on Friday. That gets going.
Mm-hmm.
Check your lineups if you're playing fantasy, because Lord knows I have still no understanding how it works with all their modifiers. But thank you guys, as always. We will be back on Friday, and then after Friday, I think that's gonna be like Judgment Day, coming up with a new name. Like we're gonna have to come back strong.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will have more on Friday. We've got a nice weekend here with more playoffs, with Euros, with the UFC pay-per-view, 2 title fights, and a Diaz fight. Gotta love that. So
Man,
we
I
will.
get that video also. Nate Diaz on ESPN.
Oh jeez.
I
Oh
don't know if
man.
you saw it. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't, but I'm getting as soon as we get off here, I'm gonna look up. So yes, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you. You know the drill. Keep the fire.
Keep the freaking fire.